Hi, Dr. Mike Mossop here for CoVet. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about templates. Templates are a really important concept in CoVet. As you know, when you're generating any kind of document, you are using a specific template, and the template you use is going to dictate the type of output that you get for your document. The good news is there's a lot of different ways to customize your template so that everything comes out exactly how you want it. And I'm going to go through a few options that you want to be aware of. So first off, you'll notice that I'm on the template page. This is the best place to go to manage your templates. Of course, when you're actually in a record, if you're generating a document, you're going to do it through these buttons, and you can view the template library, use the templates here. But the place to kind of do your editing, organizing, etc., is on this template tab. Now you can do things like marking certain templates as your favorites, setting them as defaults, hiding them, etc. That'll help you with organization. There's a number of filters up at the top here that can help you. But when it comes to actually customizing your templates, I think the most important thing here is knowing that there are three different types of templates. So those are custom templates, advanced templates, and standard templates. You'll also notice those three types can be spread across your records tab, your summary tab, and your email tab. Now, these are more about just the type of document they're going to produce, but those types work the same across records, summaries, and emails. So I'll start with the standard one really quickly, but we're going to get to how to create a custom template very shortly, and we have some great AI tools that will help you with that. It makes it really easy. With the standard tools, basically, if you click into a template, there's not a lot of ability to interact here. You can see a little bit of a preview of the type of note that's going to be created, but the one thing I want to point out here is the custom instructions button. So this is your one way to modify the output of a standard template. A custom instruction is essentially a text-based instruction that you write that rides on top of the template, and that the template instructions still run, like the template still does what it should, but your custom instructions take precedent and override certain things. So best example I can give you here, the medical progress note will summarize basically anything in bullet point format. If I open the custom instructions and I wrote something to the effect of, create this medical note in paragraph format, do not use bullet points, it will change the output format, so it's more to my liking. You just need to make sure you click save down here at the bottom, and that is custom instruction. So kind of very simple, straightforward way to make a few small adjustments to your template. One other option is to use an advanced template. And if you've started creating SOAP records, this is probably where you began. And so when you click in here, you'll notice that you still have the ability to add custom instructions, but there are a few other things you can do with an advanced template. So there are some settings you can access, things like turning default normal text on and off, things like highlighting abnormal physical exam findings in one of a couple ways or both. You can also do things like sharing the template, duplicating the template, and creating multiple versions of the same thing if you want to make little tweaks for, say, your recheck exam versus your primary exam. And then more importantly, you'll notice here, when you get into the template and you go into any given section, there's a lot more of an interface here you can interact with. So you can do things like dragging and dropping to change the order of things. You can turn certain elements, we call them, within the template on or off if you want them to be included or not included. And you can also edit each individual element. So I could go here and just write something to the effect of within normal limits for my default text, or I could change this to optho or something like that. So you can basically edit the text here. A few other tricks in here, save it, and this little stop sign icon simply notes that you have made a change from the default setting. If you ever want to, you can come back here and you can go reset entire template. It brings you back to the start. So those are a couple ways to modify the output for a standard or an advanced template. But I think again, creating custom templates is a very powerful tool, and especially if you have a document somewhere outside of CoVet. So a template in your practice management software or something saved as a Word doc that you really want to use and you want CoVet to mimic that format, creating a custom template is the way to go. If you ever need help with this, or if you're not sure which approach to use for a given task, certainly send us an email, support@co.vet. But to create a custom template, you can do it in a couple ways. So you can add a template here, and you can either write it from scratch using text-based instructions, or you can create with Coco. So Coco is our AI template assistant, and you can kickstart a new template project here. If you are in a custom template, you can also click the Edit with AI or Edit with Coco button, and it will open this particular template project in Coco. Or you can simply visit Coco, and what you'll notice is it's going to open up a new tab in your browser. And so Coco is a separate application from CoVet, but they are connected. So you need to be logged into CoVet to access Coco. The authentication is the same, it is secure, and basically this makes it really easy to move templates back and forth between the two programs. So you'll see that in Coco here, I'm kind of looking at a dashboard. So like here's a variety of template projects that I am working on. You'll notice some of them are reflected in my CoVet account as well. And I can go ahead and create a new template here. But before we do that, I just want to flag our template community. So you'll also see this community button. Right now we're on the dashboard. I'm going to click this. This is the CoVet template community, and I'd encourage you to come and check it out. These are templates that were created by other CoVet users. They're not necessarily on your team. This is across the entire CoVet user base, and the number of templates in here is growing with every passing week. My hope is that there's something in here that you will find useful, and you can see as you browse, there's just a variety of titles and descriptions you can access. There are, of course, filters on the side if you want to, let's say, focus down to things that are just in emergency medicine, for instance, you can do that. And when you click in here, you'll be able to read more details about the template, and you can do one of two things. You can copy it to Coco, which allows you to edit it further. So I'm about to show you that process in a moment, or I can save it to CoVet and basically use it as is. One other thing I can do, I can also copy the link if I want to send this to a friend or a colleague and basically have them land on the same page. Just say, hey, I found this. It's great. Check it out. When you're done with the template community, simply click on the dashboard. So this is where I can see and work with my own template projects. I can click into any one of these and pick up where I left off. But in this case, we're going to create a new template, actually maybe a couple. I'm going to call this dermatologic exam. It's going to be a record. I can also create summary and email templates this way. I'm going to create this in English, although it's worth noting I can work in English in Coco and actually create templates in French or Spanish or any other language. So some increased flexibility there. If I mark this as client facing, it won't use abbreviations. I'm going to leave this unchecked because this is a medical record. And it's always good to flag what your preferred input type is going to be. In this case, this is mostly going to use audio recordings or consultation recordings. And I'm going to click create template. So this is the main Coco interface, and it's made up of two parts. So on the left, you have your discussion with Coco, the AI that is going to help guide you through this template creation process. And then on the right, this is where the template is actually going to show up. And you can get started in a number of ways. I will show you in a few minutes how to import a document that you've already started either outside of CoVet, or maybe it's a custom template in your CoVet account or somebody else's account, and you want to basically start working on those here. I'll show you that soon. But in a lot of cases, you may just start talking, and you can free type, but I like using the microphone button. And I'm going to ask Coco to create a template that is suitable for a veterinary dermatology exam. And yeah, that's it. Let's do it. So keep it short and sweet. I'm not going to give a whole lot of detail here. I'm going to click the send button. that message is going to go off. This will take 30 or 40 seconds, and you'll see the template appear here on the right. Now, again, I didn't give a lot of guidance, so it's going to make a few decisions here. But the good news is that I am able to ask Coco to make revisions. And I think this is a key concept, like making iterative improvements to your templates is something that's really powerful. And those small changes really add up over time. So we've got our template here. And I'll flag first that you've got template instruction. So this is a passage that has to do with the entire document. You can free type here. You can ask Coco to change it as well. And then you've got sections. And so as you look through the sections, you can see it's kind of broken up, but each section has basically a body, which is like labels and placeholders. It sets the structure for the document. And then there's instructions that tell CoVet how to fill this out when you're using it. And you can edit either of those freely, but basically, if you want, you can ask Coco to do it. And I'm just trying to think of, here's a good change. I want all of this stuff to be in not the general physical exam. I want to create a whole separate vitals section. So right now you have things like the weight, temperature, heart rate, respiration, mucous membrane, and CRT in the general physical exam. I want to break those out into a separate section called vitals, and I want you to add the body condition score on a scale of 0 to 9 there as well. So I will stop, take a second to just transcribe. I will send that, and you'll see this should change in just a few minutes. And so you can do a little bit of back and forth. You can always come back and do this kind of iteration after you've been using the template for a while if you feel there's one place where you want to improve it a little bit. And there we go, our new vitals section. So once we're happy with this, you simply go save to CoVet. I'm going to create a new save point. If I create multiple save points, I can always go back to a previous point. Like it allows some version control here. And I'm going to go create a new template. A sharing code would be something I could send to a friend or a teammate if I wanted to. I will flag if the template already exists in CoVet, you'll get an additional option here that asks you if you want to override the previous version or if you want to create a new one. So we'll create new template. It'll think for a minute, it'll save, and I can stay in Coco, or if I go open in CoVet, it should bring me back to a new window here, and I can see the whole thing. I'll be able to use this on records straight away. So that's kind of a really useful way to get started, quick and easy. I will show you one other approach here. So we're just going to go back. We're going to create Mike's custom soap. And again, we'll leave much of this the same. Now, this time, instead of speaking to Coco, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some material. And I can do things like attaching a CoVet template, or I can attach a file. So just looking at the CoVet template first, the way I would attach it is you need something called a sharing code. And the place to get a sharing code is you can go into any of these custom templates. You can go share template with linker code and copy that code. Again, you can use it yourself. You can share it with friends. And that is what you would post in right here. Now, this only works for custom templates. Right now, you can't duplicate a standard or an advanced template, but if you do want to kind of modify one of our standard templates, send an email to support@co.vet, or simply use the Get Help button here at the top. That will create a support ticket that goes directly to our team, and they will help you with whatever you're trying to achieve. Now, in terms of attaching files, this is more for if you have a document outside of CoVet that you want to bring in. And so, maybe you have a template in your practice management software, or maybe you're looking to mimic some real patient files or things like that. Basically this is the way to do it. And here I have a file here, actually just to show you a preview. It's a really basic outline, like this is everything. And what I would do is I'm going to go attach files. I don't think you get to see this on the screen share. Oh, maybe you do. So there we go. And we're going to bring up this document. It's been uploaded. I'm going to send it. Coco might ask me what she wants me to do with this, but I'm just going to say create a template. We'll see what she says. But anyway, it's going to take that structure and build it for me. And again, you can go through and iterate. You can save this to CoVet. And my hope is that this is a great way for you to kind of kickstart your use of CoVet. Like I really think getting the right template or customizing the right template is the way to go. So yeah, we'll say this sounds good. Boom. You know, I do realize how important the output of your records are to you. And again, this is a very powerful tool that will help you get there. Don't forget about the simpler options that I showed you back at the start as well. So adding custom instructions or using advanced templates. Okay, there you go. There is our template. So you can see it's mimicked that structure for us. If I'm happy with this, I can simply click Save to CoVet. If I want, I can go in and do some more revisions. But either way, I hope this video has given you enough to get started with this. Again, it's a really powerful tool, and I hope you have fun using it. Thank you very much.